Okay, I was asked to give a quick tutorial on installation of the Newboler 10,000 lumen bike light. This item right here, I did make a previous video, and so this is strictly just for the installation. I did take this off my bike, and so one of the things I did want to show is what actually came in the package. And so I did buy a 6,000 lumen item. It's very similar in setup. I'll just show the setup. I'm not going to show any of the USB cords, but obviously it's going to come with a light. So we have our light unit itself. We're going to have the attachments, two attachments that actually go onto your handlebars. So there's going to be two of them. If you notice these handlebars attachments, there is a spacer that's in here, and so that will probably may have to get removed or installed, or maybe even added shims. So in this box there were some added shims in here to help take up the space or remove space as required to get this fitting onto your handlebars, and I'll show that in a bit. But very similar components. So this is the two attachments for the 6,000. If I were to close it up, this is what it is for the 10,000. I might have thrown away the other shims, so that's why it's a larger diameter, but for the most part they all serve shims serve similar purpose, just to take up the space. Just for comparison, because I'm going to be setting up the 6,000, it does have a similar setup. There is a channel on this light here that the attachment bracket is going to go on. So this attachment bracket, once this is on your bike, it's gonna, this is going to be attached to your bike, and then you're going to slide the light through the channel onto these attachment brackets, and that's what's going to hold it up. And so, so this is your bike handle holding it here, and this is going to be your light. And so I'll give a quick demo. I just wanted to show the components before I get out there. And yeah, let's head on over to the bike. Okay, so here we are. We're going to install the light on the bike. So the first thing you want to do is get a better idea of where you want this position on the bike. The way that I have it, it's going to be centered on the bike. I know with a lot of lights, they're only single LEDs, so they're only positioned on the right side or left side. But for this, because it's a pretty long unit, I'm going to just put it right here in the center. It shouldn't impact any of the movement of the bike. And so this tells me where the brackets are going to go. So like I mentioned earlier, these brackets, they are going to be inserted along this channel here. So those brackets could really go anywhere along the length of this channel. And so I know all bikes are made differently, at least for my bike. What we're going to do is, we have the fitting here. One of the things you do want to make sure is that when I had this backwards when I was bringing it outside, but one of the things you want to look out for is that this screw here that's going to hold the two parts of the fitting together, there's a threaded side and there's a non-threaded side. So you want to insert into the non-threaded side so that when you put it together, you can thread it and then it won't come apart. And so that's one thing you want to be aware of. And so at least for my bike, I'm not sure how your bike is. Oh, one of the things I wanted to mention is this fitting. This is really a set screw for, remember how I mentioned the channel? So you see that shape? The channel of the main body is going to go into that, let's just call it a T fitting up there. So this is really going to slide into, yeah, you see that slot right up there? It's going to fit right in there, and it's going to slide in. And this right here, this is really just a set screw to help stop it from adjusting or moving. Okay, so we'll share that in a bit, but I do want to get installing these brackets onto the bike. And so, like I mentioned earlier, I did position this. I am going to have this channel sitting on the top side, so my bar is roughly going to be right around here. Actually, I have it upside down. Well, sorry, side up. So make sure that this is up here. Like I mentioned, you need to understand where your threaded portion is. So the threaded portion is at the top, and so I'm gonna put the screw in from the bottom side, and I'm just gonna screw this in here. I did have to use a shim, so I used the smaller shim that I showed earlier in the video. I don't need that larger shim that was shown in my the 6,000 lumen item. And so I have that one in there. Same thing with this side. I already did it. I don't want to waste time by doing both sides for this video. So both of these are on there. Just make sure that they're nice and tight. You can kind of see that my bar, it is tapered, so it's larger here diameter, thinner here, and so I want to make sure that it's snug so that this fitting doesn't push off to the side and start rotating on me. And so just make sure it's nice and snug out on there. Make sure these set screws are down so that you can get this channel in here. And so you're just gonna take this, you're gonna slide it in, and it should just come all the way through right up until the other side. I don't have these properly aligned, so you don't have to fully tighten them while you're installing. You could have it loose on the handlebars. It'll be easier to get the light on, and then once it's on, you want to put the set screw down and make sure that the unit won't move off. So tighten the set screw, and then after you do that, once it all looks good, when you know that the light is on and it's pointing where you want it to point at, you can tighten the other fitting on the bike. If you want to adjust it up and down, just loosen the fitting screw just to loosen it, and then you can move it up and down. Obviously you can't move it left and right, that left and right's with your bike, but you can move it up and down. And so there you go, that's the installation. If you have any other questions, just put a comment and then I'll try to answer them when I get to it. Okay, see you in the next video.